the fans probably want Paddy and Ilya like they wanted Tony and Khabib, and I'm going to fuck it up, and that's my job.
I got to go with Gaethje. I feel like he's the one that is more like enjoys like a knockdown drag out more than the other guy. Not that Paddy Pimblett doesn't love to fight. It's just Gaethje loves to like actually get down and throw fists.
The UFC energy right now is hitting different levels. And I'm talking about the kind of electricity that tells you something massive is about to unfold. Justin Gaethje just fired off this razor-sharp final statement directly targeting Paddy Pimblett. And trust me when I say he's done playing games. This feud has escalated to legitimately dangerous heights, where every single exchange carries real weight and builds towards something explosive.
I was so glad that the team stepped up and kept pushing them, and so I feel really good about that. Today was a really hard push. After watching his sparring, I'm really seeing him start to incline, so I don't see him declining at all. So this week I want to really push him, and today was a tough one. So man, it's great having Kamaru out here and Faraz. So they're good bodies for him right now and helping him push. But man, I feel really good at where we're at right now, and I'm so happy and proud of the team. It's a cool thing to be a coach and coach with someone for so long and not allow anything that happens like that to be a distraction. You know, Justin is just so dialed in right now. He is just on point. And man, I'm really, really looking forward to the rest of this training camp. His mindset is so good right now. His grappling is so good right now, so I feel really good.
So Trevor Whitman dropped some insights about how Justin's preparation is shaping up. And honestly, his confidence is infectious. He's saying Justin Gaethje is looking absolutely dialed in right now, mentioning how sharp he appears and completely focused on the task ahead. But here's what really stands out. Trevor believes Justin is still evolving and getting better even at this point in his career. The brutal training sessions they've been grinding through, paired with elite-level training partners pushing him every single day, have taken Justin to a completely different level. The entire team is buzzing with excitement about how camp is progressing, and when someone like Whitman shows that kind of enthusiasm, you know something special is brewing.
Good. Good. And again. Up and go. Good. Good. Go. Good. Lift strong. Yeah. Good. Good. Right, good. And lift. Good. Good. Good.
Now let's dive into Justin Gaethje himself, because this fighter looks absolutely zeroed in, and I mean that level of focus you can actually feel. The intensity is undeniable, whether you watch him train or listen to him speak. He's fine-tuning every aspect of his arsenal right now, hammering his conditioning to maintain that ruthless pace, perfecting his precision so every single shot has impact, and building that dares to mentally and physically break whoever stands opposite him. Justin is getting ready to take control from the second that cage door locks and completely dominate anyone brave enough to face him inside that octagon. This goes beyond normal preparation. This is a fighter with a clear mission to remind everyone he's still among the most lethal competitors on earth.
Well, I thought I was going to fight Justin in October. I'll be honest, I thought I'd be on the Abu Dhabi card and fight Justin, but it just didn't come off. So, I'm not going to lie, I've only started just preparing for Justin. I was preparing for Ilya. I thought I'd end up fighting Ilya, so I was preparing for him for a couple of weeks. And then I found out like 2-3 days before the announcement it's going to be Justin. And we've been preparing for Justin, we're getting a game plan together, and that's what's going to win us the fight.
Now let's examine Paddy Pimblett's situation, because this adds a fascinating wrinkle to the whole preparation dynamic. Paddy dropped some information that surprised quite a few people. Originally, he was gearing up for Ilia Topuria, structuring his entire training camp around that particular opponent and fighting style. But then just days before the official announcement went public, he discovered he'd actually be squaring off with Justin Gaethje instead. Really let that sink in for a moment. Only days before everyone else knew, Paddy had to completely shift gears mentally and physically. He mentioned the change happened very late in the process, which in fight preparation can be absolutely brutal, but here's what matters. His team has already made the adjustments. They're crafting a strategy they truly believe will work against someone as dangerous as Gaethje. That kind of flexibility is essential at the highest levels. Paddy's corner appears confident they can execute the plan successfully.
It's all cardio. This whole sport is cardio. I got so much work in front of me, so that when I make that walk, I know that I couldn't have done anything else to be ready. I'm going to be as ready as I can be. Obviously, at this sport and at this level, you cannot make mistakes, and so I think his ambition is going to get him in trouble, and I hopefully can take advantage and knock him out.
During discussions about Paddy Pimblett and this upcoming battle, Justin stayed measured and direct, which perfectly matches what you expect from someone with his experience. He explained that MMA at the elite level comes down to cardio and preparation above everything else. Those elements form the foundation for success, and he's grinding through those punishing training sessions to ensure zero regrets come fight night. Justin understands that at this championship level, errors can be catastrophic. One single mistake might completely flip the script. He thinks Paddy's attacking mentality, that constant forward movement and eagerness to exchange, might actually create the perfect opportunity for him to connect with something fight-ending. It's pure veteran awareness, recognizing chances where others might only see threats.
All I have to win. I'm going to have to spoil. I know that I don't know that the UFC wants it. I know that the fans probably want Paddy and Ilya like they wanted Tony and Khabib, and I'm going to f*** it up, and that's my job.
Justin pushed things further with an even more direct statement, demonstrating he completely grasps the larger context surrounding this fight. He recognizes that the UFC and fans are already fantasizing about that massive potential clash between Paddy Pimblett and Ilia Topuria. That's clearly the matchup everyone wants for pure entertainment and storyline value. But Justin's mission is simple. He wants to crash that party first, completely destroy those plans, and slam the door on all the excitement by handling business inside that cage. He's displaying pure confidence that he can take control when everything is on the line and completely wreck whatever trajectory the UFC has mapped out for Paddy's future. That's a competitor who knows he's about to send shockwaves through the division.
Man, I gotta go with Gaethje. I feel like he's the one that is more enjoys a knockdown drag out more than the other guy. Not that Paddy Pimblett doesn't love to fight. It's just Gaethje loves to actually get down and throw fist for fist. And he's also got the Division I wrestling to kind of negate some of the biggest skill sets of Paddy. Paddy's a very dominant grappler when it comes to submissions and being, aggressive with that. I think Gaethje has the tools to keep it where he wants it, and I think that's going to give him an edge.
Back to Paddy Pimblett. Iraja Faber offered his perspective on this clash, and his breakdown definitely favors Justin Gaethje. Faber explained that Gaethje absolutely comes alive during those brutal exchanges, the type of violent back-and-forth wars that would destroy most fighters mentally. Justin welcomes those close-range battles where shots are flying from both sides, and that approach can completely overwhelm opponents who aren't ready for that level of chaos and violence. Faber also highlighted Gaethje's Division I wrestling credentials as a game-changing factor, providing him the tools to shut down Paddy Pimblett's lethal submission attacks that have ended so many fights. If Justin can dictate where the action happens, control the rhythm, and stay out of those dangerous scrambles where Paddy excels, Faber thinks that gives him significant advantages in both positioning and tempo management throughout the entire contest.
But Armin's Armin's an absolute idiot. Ilya's the man, so Ilya's who I'm going to fight. Armin just talks a big game and he's...
Paddy Pimblett recently went straight after Armin Tsarukyan, and he definitely didn't pull any punches with his assessment. Paddy completely dismissed him as nothing but empty hype and loud talk, essentially writing off everything Armin brings to the table as a legitimate contender. Paddy made his feelings perfectly clear that he doesn't view Armin as any kind of real threat or meaningful challenge, just sweeping him aside like he doesn't deserve serious consideration. He's emphasizing his focus on bigger opportunities ahead, the caliber of fights that will genuinely advance his position and push him closer to championship gold. Confidence in reading your opponent.
Впечатление нормальное, я ожидал либо submission, либо ничья. Проиграть я никак не мог, потому что я знал, что Шара будет просто избегать борьбу, бегать 6 минут.
Regarding Armin Tsarukyan, his recent single-round encounter with Sharafutdin Magomedov, finished in a draw. That was an intense, fast-paced battle that had fans across social media arguing about who really took the round. Armin revealed afterward that the outcome didn't catch him off guard whatsoever, which is pretty unusual since most fighters despise draws. He said he mentally prepared for either submitting Sharpudin during the fight or seeing it declared a draw. Those were the only two scenarios he had considered going in. He emphasized that defeat never entered his thinking, not even briefly, because he knew Sharpudin would do everything possible to avoid grappling situations and spend the majority of time moving around the perimeter, staying mobile, and refusing to engage where Armin thrived. His exact words were, "It's fine. I knew it would either be me submitting him or ending in a draw. No chance I lose that. Because I knew Sharpudin would avoid all wrestling and keep moving for 6 minutes."
Должно было больше времени быть. Регламент был больше времени, но Шара хотел 5 минут, потом мы ели, как-то говорится, на 6 минут, потому что моя задача была как бы сделать так, чтобы он подустал, и потом его зафинишировать. Но он не боролся, просто стоял, защищался от канатов, и он выполнил свою работу на 100%, а я чуть не доработал.
Armin expanded on his thoughts by explaining the fight didn't unfold according to his original expectations. When he first accepted the bout, the duration was shortened from the initial plan, which completely altered his tactical approach and what he could realistically accomplish. His strategy centered on gradually breaking Sharapudin down, exhausting him, and then taking complete control in the later stages when conditioning became crucial. But Sharapudin remained careful throughout, maintained his defensive approach, and handled the situation smartly by never giving Armin the clear openings he was hunting for. Armin felt he came close, but didn't quite reach the level needed to secure an undeniable victory. He clarified that the original rules allowed for extended time, but Sharapudin preferred 5 minutes, and it lasted approximately 6. Armin's blueprint was wearing him down then finishing strong, but Sharapudin wouldn't engage, just stayed protected along the edges. Sharapudin executed his defensive plan flawlessly, and Armin acknowledged he didn't push hard enough to force an obvious win.
Ah! Boys, there's not another man out there right now who's putting in the work like he is and grappling, and he's a number one contender. Back when I was fighting in the UFC, right? Strikeforce, UFC, Elite XC, XCS, whatever it is, they're not letting their athletes go out and do this. Damn near if he's the number one contender. But this guy's the number one contender, and he's out there grappling. Like I said earlier before I was bringing this video down, that he's got rent due next month. Like, what is...
After watching Armin's performance at ADCC, Demetrius Johnson gave props to his relentless work ethic, and when Mighty Mouse speaks, people listen. DJ mentioned how unusual it is to witness a top contender putting in this much effort, especially in pure grappling competitions outside MMA, where the pressure is different and success depends entirely on technical skill. He emphasized Armin's drive and sense of urgency, observing he's performing like someone with everything on the line, that motivation pushing him to new heights, and that focus, that complete refusal to coast or take shortcuts. That's precisely what makes him such a threat right now in the lightweight landscape.
Honestly, I'm about retirement. When I retired, I never think to coming back because it was a very clear decision. Very, very clear decision. Of course, sometimes I want to compete with high-level guys, but in my gym, I have best fighters in the world. When I miss some competition, I go to the gym. I can find not only best guys in their division, I can find best pound-for-pound guys in the world. And of course, I go and compete. This is in my blood. I love this. I love wrestling. I love competition. But going back to the cage, no.
Now the discussion shifts to someone who epitomized championship excellence at the absolute pinnacle. Khabib Nurmagomedov, the perfect record holder and undisputed legend, who stepped away entirely on his own terms. When questioned whether that competitive drive might eventually draw him back to active competition, Khabib responded without any hesitation, and his position was completely definitive. He emphasized that retirement was a deliberate, carefully considered choice, not an emotional reaction or spur-of-the-moment decision. Although he acknowledged that competitive desire never completely vanishes, that burning ambition doesn't just disappear after reaching championship status, he explained that he now satisfies that need through gym work rather than returning to fight. He trains hard, develops his team, and pushes his fighters, but his personal fighting career is permanently finished.
We have to be nice, but it's never gonna be friend. But this guy tried to smash.
Following that, he tackled the concept of maintaining friendships with past opponents. This is where Khabib's viewpoint becomes genuinely fascinating. He clarified that while respect and professionalism are absolutely essential, you can acknowledge someone's abilities and character. Genuine friendship becomes nearly impossible after fighting someone. From his perspective, when another person has attempted to seriously damage you inside that cage, when you've both been locked in there trying to impose your dominance on each other, that dynamic creates a permanent change in how you relate. There's a fundamental shift that can't simply disappear with post-fight pleasantries and respectful words.
U.S. promotions, very, very bad, because there is so many hungry fighters coming.
Yeah.
And they don't like to talk. They don't like trash talk. They just come, smash people, and take money, you know? And U.S. promotions, they don't like this. They like trash talking. They like entertainment. I understand. In one way, it's business. But in other way, end of the day, this is sport. It's sport 1-on-1. You go alone inside the cage, and we will see.
Khabib went deeper, discussing how Dagestan's influence on MMA continues expanding with these determined fighters emerging who skip the trash talk game. They don't play social media politics or create drama. They simply fight and collect victories. While he recognizes the promotional side of MMA, the marketing and entertainment elements that generate pay-per-view buys, he emphasized that MMA should ultimately return to one core principle: fighter against fighter, determining who's superior inside that cage. That's the most important aspect in his philosophy.
There's going to be no excuses from anyone on the planet. When I beat him, I have beaten the greatest pound-for-pound fighter on the planet right now. Your excuses are all finished. There's none. Don't look for them. Don't pick on them. I'll beat the number one pound-for-pound on the planet. I'll beat a champion of the world. And then we can start the aggressive.
As well, like he's not small well.
No, he's a big dude.
Like,
There's no excuses, none whatsoever.
No.
When I beat Islam Makhachev and I win the world title, there will be no excuses from anyone, anywhere on the planet. End of, done. They all look for something. They all want that claim of, it was this, it was that. No, it couldn't have been you. It couldn't have been. That Ian's just better than you.
Stepping forward with his own confident declaration, Ian Garry stated his position with complete clarity, and he's speaking with absolute certainty, zero hesitation in his delivery. He explained the only method to silence all the criticism surrounding his name. Every skeptic, every doubter, everyone questioning whether he belongs at the top, is by going directly through Islam Makhachev, not finding an alternate route, not waiting for easier opportunities, but straight through the reigning champion. In Ian Garry's vision, defeating the current pound-for-pound king and capturing the lightweight world championship wouldn't simply add to his resume, it would eliminate every question mark and silence every critic permanently. That's the type of bold statement that demands attention. Now, with Paddy and Justin heading toward an inevitable collision that's creating more tension with each passing day, Arman continuing his ascent through multiple combat sports while proving his worth, and Khabib's influence still representing the gold standard for divisional excellence, the lightweight picture feels more unpredictable than it has in years. You have elite contenders on collision courses, established reputations hanging in the balance, and fighters making declarations that will shape the division's future direction. For everyone watching, all that remains is witnessing how it all plays out inside that octagon. Because this division is ready to reach a breaking point.